Hey people, it is Thursday, February the 8th. It's 3:56 in the afternoon and a very mild 7 degrees Celsius. I'm in Wellesley Park here in the Cabbagetown neighborhood on the very far east side of downtown Toronto. And Wellesley Park shares a name with Wellesley Street, which is nearby. Matter of fact, the very start of Wellesley Street is just up ahead here, so I'm going to walk along the full length of Wellesley Street from east to west as it passes through the northern part of downtown Toronto. And it's been a few years, I think, since I've done a full Wellesley Street walk. And you can hear the traffic from the Don Valley Parkway over in that direction, looking east. And here's where Wellesley Street begins. So Wellesley Street continues over to Queen's Park Crescent West, and that's where it ends. And this first leg here will be a beautiful residential area here in Old Cabbagetown. This is a rather famous old 19th century neighborhood here in the city. And many well-known Torontonians have called this neighborhood home over the decades. You'll find in front of many of the homes a little plaque that will tell you of a famous person who once lived in that home. And they're scattered all over the neighborhood. Just a couple of them that I saw earlier. I saw one for Doug Henning, the magician. He lived on Winchester Street. And maybe I'll cross the street just to avoid the glare of the sun. We are walking towards the sun at this time of day. Let's see what books are up for grabs in the little library. Yeah, I see a map. Ontario Road Map. I used to collect those. I probably have that same one at home now. Rather outdated now. And there are a number of those little libraries scattered around the neighborhood. As we head further west, we'll eventually start passing through a much more heavily built up part of the city. And things give way to a much more big city downtown look, but this first stretch is rather serene and peaceful here. I think I'll just take a slight detour here. We'll check out the Wellesley cottages. It's a neat little hidden street. Hey, there's a squirrel. How you doing? And these have always been some of my favorite townhomes. All right, I think I have to cut through here to get to the Wellesley cottages. And here they are. Well, these little cottage-style row houses here will probably cost you up to $2 million just to purchase just a single one of them. And you can imagine how much more some of the much larger homes in the neighborhood might go for. All right, so we'll head back onto Wellesley and continue westward. And I think this might be the warmest February 8th in many years here in the city. Feels more like fall or late spring. And here's Parliament Street, so we'll keep on heading west as we make our way out of Cabbagetown. Towers of St Jamestown across the street. And we're going to have to contend with rush hour traffic. I was wondering in a previous video what's going to happen to these old townhouses. Hopefully they get the full renovation treatment. They're far too nice to be lost. With a little bit of sprucing up, they could look as nice as these ones. And hey, it's my least favorite grocery store. I recently did a video where I came here looking for some Vector cereal. And I have to admit, it wasn't as bad as I remembered it from the last time I attempted to shop here. Maybe it's improved. There's a little sort of outdoor yard sale kind of serving the whole St Jamestown neighborhood. That goes around all year round. We're technically still in Cabbagetown until Sherbourne Street. And after we cross Sherbourne, we start coming into the Church-Wellesley Village neighborhood, which is the heart of the gay community. Church in Wellesley is a very popular area in the city, Church Street being the main street of the village. And about to cross Sherbourne Street. Getting deeper into the heart of downtown now. Crossing Homewood Avenue, and I don't live too far away to the south. There's one of the many Rabba stores scattered around the downtown. Very handy, but quite pricey. I rarely shop there. There's older apartment buildings. This neighborhood is quite a mixture of styles and eras as far as the residential stock goes. It's dominated by apartments and more recently condominiums. And there's Jarvis Collegiate, local high school. And speaking of Jarvis, we're about to cross Jarvis Street. So we're still on the east side of downtown. We won't cross to the west side until we pass Yonge Street. One of the giant 1960s slab apartments, which started sprouting up all around the neighborhood in that decade. They were the dominant form of apartment living in the area until recently, when the condo boom started exerting itself all over the city. I think this is the newest addition to the neighborhood here, this condo right near the corner of Church and Wellesley. Here's church. That cluster of towers keeps growing. That's up near Yonge and Bloor. This is the heart of the neighborhood. The next major intersection will be Yonge and Wellesley, where we'll cross over to the west side. Paul Kane House. This house gets an entire big plot of land all to itself due to its historic nature. If it wasn't a historic property, there would be a big condo on that site a long time ago. Pretty sure there's a bike lane on the other side of the street, but hey, why use that when you can ride on the sidewalk? And here's Wellesley subway station. I recently did a video where I got off the train at that station for the first time ever, instead of walking past it like I have done in countless other videos, including this one. And we're just about at Yonge. So quite a difference from where we began the video less than a half an hour ago. We're on the west side now. This used to be a stralley, a street that looks like an alley, or an alley that looks like a street, but it's been blocked off by this construction site. So I'm looking forward to this reopening. It was one of my favorite walks to do. Just that small section is closed off. So the rest of the stralley is still open for walkthroughs, but it's not quite the same without that missing section. And here's Bay Street. So the western leg of Wellesley Street isn't as long as the eastern leg. So I'm going to walk through part of the University of Toronto on this section of the street. I think this is an all-girls high school here. Matter of fact, I know someone who went there, and I'm pretty positive that it's an all-girl high school. I can hear an orchestra rehearsing inside. Not sure if that comes across through the microphone or not. And Faculty of Music for U of T right here. I'm pretty sure that was coming from the high school though, and not the U of T building. Although school hours are over, so who knows. Let the oppressed go free is what this is called. And we're at Queen's Park, Crescent East. There's the Ontario Legislature. And Queen's Park itself. And no buildings to block the sun now. Still looks like fall with all the leaves on the ground here in the park. Some of the trees still have leaves on them actually, although they're dead, but they're still hanging on. So this is the backside of the Ontario Legislative Assembly. It fronts looking south down University Avenue. And here's the end of Wellesley Street. I'll just take us up onto that little bridge there, though, to check out the view looking back east along the way we came. This isn't a lane or anything here by the looks of it. Just seems to be unused space. So as far as I'm concerned, I can walk here. And there we go, looking back east along Wellesley Street. So I hope you enjoyed the walk along the full length of Wellesley Street, starting in the Cabbagetown neighborhood. We made our way through that old historic area and continued on through downtown, crossing Church and Yonge and Bay along the way, ending here at Queen's Park, near the University of Toronto, which is just right over there, the main St. George campus. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. Or you can also become a channel member. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.